is set to join us here. Hi, Mike. Good to see you.
Hi, Brennan. How we doing?
Doing well, thanks.
Mike.
Thanks for stopping by.
Maureen. I'm
Okay,
happy
Coach.
to be here. We're ready to kick it off.
All right, very good. So NJIT picked 5th in the America East Women's Basketball preseason poll. Again, want to thank the fine folks at the Field of 68 for this platform to do this show. So we're making our way through. We'll have Colleen Mullen after Mike, just to keep folks informed on who's coming up very soon. So, Mike, let's discuss your team as you turn the page for another season. What do you like about your basketball team right now on October 20th?
Well, I like that it's October 20th and not November 2nd. I don't think we're ready for quite that first game yet. So we still got some time. We had our first scrimmage this weekend, and that was huge just to finally get out there, get some results, get some real stuff on film. But we have some work to do before that opener. But obviously, it starts with our returners. I think we get to rely on some returners, which is nice in this day and age. And we have a big one, obviously, with Alejandra, and then Maddie Doggs and Olivia Kulik and Marissa Gingrich. They will be kind of the backbone of our program, and they have to carry us as we get some newcomers into the mix or some kids stepping into new roles.
Yeah, can you just talk a little bit about Olivia and her, her development now? Everybody's going to know who she is now. That's the beauty of being on the alt rookie. It's just now it's not a surprise. So just her development over the summer, and what steps do you think she'll have to make to take that next leap her sophomore year?
Yeah, and it really started actually in spring. She had a fantastic spring, which sometimes, that's kind of like that time, it's like the season just ended. There's nothing really out there. And she really knew, because the scout had been out to hear. They knew they could be physical with her. They knew they were making her dribble. So she really worked off the bounce a lot more. She played point guard a lot as a high school player just because of her high school. She was like inbounding the ball, getting the ball back, breaking the press, then in the half court, giving it up, and then kind of running through some stuff. So she's very comfortable with the basketball. She didn't do that a whole lot last year for us. So we love that she can really grow her game off the bounce, get to the free throw line. She's too good of a shooter not to be taking, 4 or 5 free throws a game. So she's got to get some easy points. We know our offense can provide her some open threes, but we're going to have to find her some opportunities at the rim and opportunities at the line. And I think she's really grown over this offseason, which has been really fun to watch because she is so good, and she can do so many things. And she really does swing between playing the 4 and playing the 3. She was really able to learn how to guard in the post last year, which allowed us to be more versatile. So, there's a lot more good basketball in Olivia, and she still has a very high ceiling.
Yeah, 39% from 3 last year, made 53s, and your offense around the league. I think that the chatter about NJIT, Mike, because you do a great job on the offensive end of the floor. How can you, and you kind of sensed it and brought it up there with Olivia individually, but as a group, how do you feel you're going to evolve more on the offensive end?
Yeah, well, last year was the first year in the offense. That was a new offense for us last year, and we really scored very well, and we moved the ball very well. Our assists were up, our field goal percentage was up, our scoring per game was up, our turnovers were down. These are really good metrics for us. So we feel like we can score with anybody. You didn't mention that nobody's talking about our defense around the league, and that's where we have to make some improvements.
I didn't get there yet.
But that we know we can score. I think we're a little bit more dynamic. We lose a big piece, obviously, down low with Trinity Williams graduating. So we have to find some points off the block and off rolls. But we'll find that, I think. I think our offense can generate that, and we have some answers there. But I really love how we've grown in this offense and really even teaching it. The first year teaching an offense, even after games, you yourself are like, oh, maybe I'm not teaching that right. Or now that you see it live, you can make some tweaks. And so I felt going into this year, just in that off season, it was like a different way to teach it. And, and a good thing, I think we're ahead. Certainly our offense is ahead of where our defense is right now, but we're excited about that for sure.
Great. As a coach, you hate to hear this, but from my experience, when this happens, the next year we learn from it. But one of the stats I saw, you lost 7 games by 5 points or less.
Yeah.
And I think just with who you have coming back, and like you said, another year under their belt with their offense. How are you feeling about that? Like, after those kind of tough losses, did they dwell? Were they really, really upset about it? Were they motivated by that? I mean, just with that young group now that they're a year older.
Yeah, I think that those losses, a lot of those were in the out of conference, especially early. It was a really tough kind of couple of weeks there. We had some injury issues. We weren't kind of playing with a full deck last year in that November, December period. Trinity Williams was out all of December. And really, I loved that last year. We were very resilient. I think maybe, as you know, coaches take those hard because if it's a 1 possession, 2 possession game, you feel like that's the possessions you have to get for them. So I think I took those a little bit harder than they did. They were always ready to bounce back. They were always ready to play. And we came off a very poor, November and December. And I think we had a very successful conference season. So kind of proving that it didn't really take effect. But I think those are lessons that we have to carry forward. I think one is it is that defensive side of the ball. Our offense is scoring. We have to play better defense, especially in this league that, can be really grinded out and physical. And we have to find that answer so that we're not in close games. Let's build a lead. Let's have a lead that can take some hits, but a lead that doesn't go away because 2 possessions, we give up points or whatever. So I think we're definitely more mature about that. And that is still something that's a scar that is healed, but it's also a scar that's there and that we, can learn about it and move it forward.
We have Mike Lane of NJIT joining us, NJIT Women's Basketball here on America East Women's Basketball Media Day. I feel like I keep beating a dead horse on this, Mike, but I think it's so cool when you examine your league, and Maureen and I talked about this off the top of the show, just the continuity in the league. You're one of 8 head coaches that were here last year, but we talked to Elisa, we talked to Amy, and it's like it's fun, and even the Power 4 teams, when you look across the country, like, you get familiar with everybody and you understand identities of programs, and that seems like a tough thing to do these days with the current landscape. But when you look around your league, and especially how your team continues to improve, and you ran a new offense last year, so you're looking to make another stride and really be in that mix and have an opportunity to be in the conference tournament, make a deep run. But when you look at your league and just having the familiarity with other coaches and other programs, what have you learned the most about the conference now, being around for almost, I think it's almost 10 years now, if I'm not mistaken? Are you getting closer to 10?
This will be my 8th year.
Okay.
And it's the 6th year in the America East, or 5th year in the America East. And you're exactly right. There is a certain comfort, like a security blanket. It's like, what Vermont's going to be, what Amy's doing at Maine, how Albany's going to play, which is like, right, more Colleen's team is a little bit different this year. It's not the team she's had, but you still kind of know what Albany's going to be. Maybe their offense will do this or maybe their defense will do, but you just know kind of the personality of the program. And that is definitely something that's, like I said, you go into it and you kind of know who they're going to be. And it's just really nice. And you see a lot of the same names. We are not a conference that generally, too many kids are leaving. We have great retention. And that's why I do think our senior classes and our older kids in this league are very, very good because they've been in their programs for a while. And so it's a really fun league. I always say it's a 5-point game with 5 minutes left kind of league, in, night out. That's probably where it's going to be. It might not turn into a close game. Maybe that 5-point game turns into a 12-point loss because they pull away or whatever, but it's a dogfight. The personalities of the coaches, the personalities of the programs, and it's a challenge every night. Those Thursday, Saturdays are tough on each and every coaching staff in this league, no doubt.
Just watching Alejandra, I mean, she's one of the most complete guards I've seen in a really, really long time. And How much fun has it been to coach her and just watching her evolve and develop into now a senior?
Yeah, it's been unbelievable. Players like that make your job easier because she can find a bucket where it looks like there's no bucket to be had. And she just has that amazing ability to kind of slalom through kids that are bigger, kids that are faster, kids that are quicker. But she just can manipulate space really so well. And she has improved every year. She is such a gym rat. She wants to know the game better. She watches film like a coach, and she can implement it. I think that's the hardest thing for young players. Like, okay, we can tell you what you have to get better at, but can you add that to your game? And so last year, we really talked about playing off of 2 feet with her. She really didn't play off of 2 feet a lot. That led to a lot of turnovers. That led to a couple tougher shots. Doesn't mean that there won't be 1-foot finishes in the paint because, again, her ability to slide through people. But she really started to get like that jump stop and step through, or kind of that slide stop off her back foot, and, ball fake up and step through. And it's also why her shooting percentages went up around the rim and in the paint. It's also why her assists went up, because she was stopping the right way and being able to kick out. And when you had Olivia and Enya last year, kids who were hitting over 53s, there were really good people to pass to. And but shooting percentages went up, assist numbers went up, and turnovers went down. And that's an incredible thing to do when you're as good as she is as a sophomore going into being a junior, and already being an established player in this league. To take that jump last year, I thought was just really incredible to watch, and really matured her game. And now she's just ready to go. She's got everything in her. I think her free throws last year were like an anomaly, and she does get sent to the line because she really attacks the rim, and so she's really worked on that. And I know she left some points on the free throw line, so that's been a huge focus. And I don't think if she were in here, I don't think she liked the way that she shot the ball from the arc. So I'm all good with that. She can improve that percentage as well. So she's just such a threat, and I love coaching her. And it's sometimes you just have to sit back and watch her, and it's really fun to watch.
Amen. Like you said, the fact that she recognizes it on her own that's half the battle, right? Especially when you try to get the most out of elite players. We'll get you out on this. How do you feel about your non-conference? So you mentioned the grind, right? When you get to January, February, the Thursday, Saturday. What is give us the temperature of this November, December slate that gives you confidence that will prepare you for that grind of league play?
Yeah, well, we'll definitely be tested. We have some, what I feel like this is our first conference game. We have all these kind of New York Metro games that we play. Mm-hmm. We're very lucky to be very close to a lot of. I know Amy has trouble finding games and whatnot, being way up in Maine, but we don't have that issue. We have so many teams within 1 hour, 2 hours of us, and like the Sacred Hearts and the Wagners and Monmouth, like those feel like conference games to us because we play them so often in this out of conference schedule. Obviously, there's some state pride when we're playing St. Peter's and whatnot, and Ryder, et cetera. So those games are really great. I think they prepare you not just from the physical standpoint, but even that mental standpoint. This isn't just like a throwaway game. It's a big game. It might not be in our conference, but it's teams that we're recruiting against. It's teams that our players have friends at. So these are definitely, very emotional games. And then I think we're testing ourselves amongst a lot of conferences. Obviously playing Minnesota and St. Thomas, that will be a great trip, and 2 very good teams and teams you don't see a lot of, obviously, out here. And then, playing like a Drexel in the CAA, playing the MAC teams, and playing the NEC. So I think we'll be certainly prepared, and we want to have better results than certainly we did last year in our out of conference.
Okay, Mike Lane.
Have you ever played at Minnesota? Sorry,
I never have.
Have you ever played at Minnesota?
Yeah, the barn. No,
you sit down underneath the seat.
It's going to be very different.
There it was cool. It was an awesome experience. You guys will have fun.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a really fun trip. We have 2 girls from Minnesota, from that area, and we have another Maddie Dogs from Wisconsin, and my in-laws are from Minnesota as well. So we'll have some Highlander support. So it'll be really fun, and that's just such a great old place to play in.
Very cool.
Have
All right,
fun.
Mike
Good
Lane
luck.
of NJIT. Thanks for stopping by, and best of luck. Defense is going to take a step this year.
That's right. We're going to be talking about our defense next year, this time.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks, guys.
I had to get that in just to make sure he understood. I asked a question about the offense, and he thought I was not going to mention the defense. But thanks, Mike.
Yep. Thanks, guys.